again under Roll20.
Hello.
Roll some dice.
Yeah, let's roll some dice. Hello, everybody. I think. Okay, this cool. Hi. Welcome to Spire, where it is still Wednesday. um, I think I actually have a list of helpful goat events to relay instead of having to be like, oh. So that's really helpful. Thanks, Galway. And let's go through some of those. So tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 Mountain Time, is just like board games, possibly video games with the Helpful Goat crew. So hang out with them tomorrow evening if you'd like. And then next Tuesday, we're doing a Goat's Eye View, which is like the talk show style one, with me and Rachel, who is on her way. If you noticed, Barnabas is not here yet. Rachel will be here soon. Rachel, me, Andy, Galway, possibly others, are doing a Goat's Eye View on like GMing tips. So you've been curious and you want to send in your questions about how we GM, how we make decisions, things you want to know about DMing or GMing, let us know those questions. Then on Wednesday is Dom and Dragons, normal time, 7 p.m. Mountain, 9 p.m. Eastern, which, as you know, is Dungeons & Dragons with Dominic Monaghan. And then next Thursday, you can come right back here at 6:30 Mountain Time to see us. Maybe, be on Thursday.
Maybe.
If it's
We don't know yet.
If it's not Thursday, by next Thursday, I will be surprised. Like, but you guys never fail to surprise me, so oh boy. Okay, so as usual, usual given these very bizarre circumstances we're living in, just want to start out with a reminder to everybody that you can use the !BLM and !donate commands in Twitch chat to get information on educating yourself, reading up on new stuff, and donating time, money, resources to different organizations involved in the current fight for racial justice in America. So, please do what you can, where you can, to support those causes. Anything from the players? Anything that you want to add? Okay, cool. Then let's get stress levels. We will resolve Kelvy's typical first roll of the session. What are we at now?
+5.
+5. All right, let's do that. Let's see what happens. Forgot to open my books.
That's gonna do it.
That's gonna do it. So that means Kelvy, I think you roll a d10, and I need to
spin that wheel of weird.
I'm for it.
A d10, you said?
Yes, d10. And if you roll the
It's gonna be an 8.
Okay, let's get to.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up on my end too.
Okay, 8. As 1, when you and another Vis carrier interact with a third party against a third party, you do so with eerie precision. Once per situation, you can roll with mastery on any check as long as you're assisted by a fellow carrier. So, yep.
Cool.
Add that to your. That's on page 76. So you can add that to your character sheet. And
cool. Who wants to get infected?
Start bleeding on people. Okay. Let's get everybody's stress levels, please. I think I have everything updated, but I just want to make sure. So Minrai,
Ulrich is at 0.
Ulrich is at 0. Okay. See, I wasn't updated. I have you at 4. That's wrong. Okay. Okay. Ulrich is at 0. Others?
Minrai's at 2 total stress.
Okay. What I have, Hennis?
3 total stress.
Okay. And Kelvy?
I have 1.
Okay.
And that's the silver.
It's to silver? Okay. Great.
Yes.
Perfect. And then when Rachel joins, give me Barnabas's. And then just so everybody knows, Rachel's joining a little late and Andrew has to hop off a little early. So just kind of, we're doing the quarantine thing. For some days we just have to hop on late and early. Well, that's kind of a normal thing actually for everybody. So it's not just quarantine. Great. Let's recap what happened last session.
I guess I'll start because I started the action last time. Ulrich ran downstairs and ran into Marguerite, who was being attacked by some I wanted to call them Draugr, but that's not correct. They are the ghouls. Yes, the ghouls was getting attacked by several ghouls, and then I went and got help from the rest of the troop, and we went to Marguerite's aid and killed all the ghouls. Some of us took a little damage in the process, but I think everyone ended up okay. And yeah, so that was like the first little bit of action. If anyone wants to pick up the reins from there.
After we killed the ghouls, I don't remember what happened after. Oh, wait, no, I remember now. Some of us looked into the crack. I looked into the crack.
I looked into the crack.
And you looked into the crack. We both did.
Yes.
And we ended up finding out a little bit more about them. Hi, Barnabas. Hi, Rachel. Sorry. You're not an old man. I mean, I can be both.
Oh, also happy birthday to both Sam and Rachel, who had birthdays earlier this week. So
happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Well, I thought you all shared a birthday.
No, 2 different days, but both Monday and Wednesday, right? So
yeah, and we found a little bit more about the cracks that they, if we physically seal them, it should stop the flow of energy enough that the ghouls shouldn't be as attracted, and then we have to like find a way to seal them magically, and we also talked to what's her face. We got a ghoul to talk to what's her face.
Good old what's her face,
Mama?
Mama Luke, yeah.
Yes.
And I'll
So we
let
didn't
someone
quite
else
kill all
recap
the
that.
ghouls.
Yeah.
well, then you killed the last.
Well, yeah.
ghoul.
Then we
There's
killed
my
At that
dog.
point, yeah.
Was it Minrai that helped me to make the cement? We filled the cracks in the basement.
I helped.
There was
I thought.
yeah, and there was also a construction guy that I talked to.
I helped because I'm a big, strong old man.
Because
too.
Minrai also had to be working kind of boring grunt work for Marguerite in order to.
Can I mark that stress is gone on the bond? Because I still have it in my Fallout. Okay, cool.
The only note that I have written from last session is King Teeth, and I think that had something to do with the ghouls.
Oh, yeah.
That's their god. That's the new
Okay.
god that the ghouls are worshipping and kind of following, and yeah.
King Teeth. Yikes.
Trying to think. Oh, right. Kelvy found out by looking with his hands. He found out that the cracks in the basement, if it's not permanently dealt with, that it could eventually be used to bring this into the world. Like, it's not just it's going to help with the bread distribution, because the Viscant group has been trying to basically infect the bread so that when people eat it, they'll be carriers for Vis, so that when that happens, that'll be better. They can just bring her into the world, from what I understood, with the cracks. So that's horrifying. Yeah. Oh, and Hennis and Kelvy took a little side trip to get some secret drugs.
Mm-hmm.
As one does, just take a nice side trip for the secret drugs.
Secret drugs.
As opposed to not secret drugs,
Regular drugs.
which is actually a thing.
I
I'm sorry
suppose
that
they're
my
not-
dog
I-
is still barking.
I love Rika, and don't you get on
Rika.
her case for barking. She is adding ambiance.
There's literally probably a cat walking by, and sometimes these cats just hang out outside my window to drive my dog nuts. This is what
Okay,
happens.
well, imagine maybe that there's dogs in
no-
the Derelictus.
Okay. I thought you were about to say
No, there's just crying children.
I have very strong feelings about outdoor cats. So if you were about to defend outdoor cats, I was about to go off.
No. None of my cats have been outdoor cats.
It's just really having a fit about this presumably cat. Okay, let's go ahead and jump in with this dog. Okay, with where we left off, with Ennis and Kelvy going up Spire. I believe we got you to the point where you I actually put players on this. Yeah, okay. We got you to the point where you were going up with a Gutterkin guide, right? Is that where? Okay. Yeah. So let's just have both of you roll just a d10 as kind of a luck style roll, and we'll see how your journey up Spire goes based on rolls.
How's that?
That's very nice. Very good. Look at you guys rolling high where it counts. Well,
Concern.
Seriously, that's good.
What else was going to happen to us if this is where it
we
counts?
could have died.
Those
Gutterkin
would have torn into your jugular and
just
drank all your blood.
Wow, it doesn't have to be about the Gutterkin, Rachel. It could
It is so.
Like something could collapse under their feet. Like that's also possible. Yeah, but actually this time quite a smooth journey, and a recent discovery of a great little side path actually gets you up Spire a little faster than you expected, thanks to your very savvy Gutterkin guide, who does not in fact bite your face off or anything like that. And yeah, you get to the gardens where Harmonious Properties is, and it's probably 8:30 at night at this point. This is happening at the same time, by the way, as Downspire. Everyone's filling in basement cracks, and Minrai is doing gross work in the hatchery and all that kind of stuff. So
the grossest work.
The grossest work. I don't know what that is.
It's cleaning up egg poop.
Cleaning up egg
Eggs
poop.
can't poop.
These
are you sure?
Are you a midwife? Thank you very much.
No, I'm an old man.
Yeah, and this is exactly why we have to control the moisture levels.
All right. So you guys are in the gardens. It's 8:30. That's the plan.
You will have to lead the way, and I have never been here before.
All right. Well, let me show you around the place I've only been once before. So I'm gonna go to my office and open the door.
All right. You head to look. I made you a map for it. How nice. Harmonious Properties.
Yep. Yes.
Okay.
Love
wow.
bloodstains.
Thanks. Yeah. I mean, there are. That's okay. So that little bed, I could not find a couch to save my life in this program. So I made a little bed, and I was like, it's just gonna have to stand in for the couch, because you did move a couch from the main room, or from the kind of lobby area, into the office to put Neza on.
I like how you didn't just put two chairs together.
I thought about it, and then I didn't. Why would I do that? I chose a little camping cot bed instead to be our couch. All right, and this is the part that you've been in. There are, as I described the first time you were here, a couple other offices, which I don't think you should not be able to see, assuming you all
Fog of War
is working properly. Although if you're looking at the stream, you can kind of see it anyway, because I forgot that, so don't look at it. Not that it matters, actually, very much at all, but in this case, just so you know, the stream has my GM view. Okay, and yeah, you guys can drop your tokens onto the map, I think, or I can put them on for you.
How do I drop my token in?
You should be able to drag and drop your character name from your journal onto the screen.
Got it.
If that works. If it doesn't, yeah.
Oh, I'm huge.
Let's find out. Oh, wow. Whoops.
Look at you, big boys. I'll shrink you down.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
And you can control and move your tokens, okay? All right, perfect.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you come on into Harmonious Properties. By the way, Calvi, this does count as your refresh for Vis, because
Cool.
the Viscant refresh is doing something that Vis kind of sends to you in a dream or a vision. Going to a place, depositing something, killing somebody, whatever Vis wants you to do. If you do it according to like your vision, then you refresh. So you can go ahead and if you have any stress,
Sure.
you would be able to refresh it. Okay. Yeah, and you guys can come in. There's no one in this in this area that you've been in before. And so yeah, what?
Sure. So I'm just, gonna walk back through. Yeah. So this is the place. Don't mind the mess. There's some blood around. I don't think anybody cleaned up.
Very homey.
Yeah, it's got it's a very it's very down to earth establishment. I haven't actually checked out the whole place yet. So if you'd like to do that with me, preferably with weapons at the ready, that'd be great. Just in case there was an attack dog left behind, what have you. So I'm gonna go.
So you mean to say that you own this whole building, not just the office?
That's a great question. Do I own the whole building or just the front?
Wrote a
office?
deed. You wrote a good deed for Harmonious Properties, right? You successfully created a falsified document. What does that mean?
I mean, I would have, had Neza sign over the whole company, basically.
I guess more what I'm asking is like, is this
is it the building you mean?
Oh,
or is
yes.
it just
Is the whole building Harmonious Properties, or is it like this one office is and then the others are unknown? The whole building is Harmonious Properties.
Okay, great.
It's kind of like a small suite of offices within kind of a building that houses many small suites of offices.
Sure.
Okay.
Cool. So yeah, I own the whole place. Just didn't have time to check it out. There was a death, very very close to when I procured it. So
I have heard this story. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. It's terrible what happened. Terrible. Just awful. I'm gonna go and see. Is there a door on my right here?
Yes, there's a door here and a door here.
Cool. Can I do a sneak check to see if I can open this thing without being heard? Yeah.
Roll sneak.
Perhaps did you want me to go first, or was this your plan?
Well, if I open the door, I can just be like, "Oh, hey, I'm the owner. I just didn't want to disturb." If you open the door,
you're going to say that to the attack dog that you shot was still here? I mean, if that will work, I will be very impressed.
I feel like you might have more experience with attack dogs than I would. Would you like to go first then?
If that is what you think is behind the door, I have no issue with it.
That sounds good. Let's do that.
Okay, so I'll go and open the door.
It's locked.
Well, what do I have to do about that? Do I have
Was
anything?
I given a key by Neza before they left?
Neza, you left bleeding out with the receptionist in their office, I believe, or they left. No, they left first with the receptionist.
Yes.
Pretty much in a daze, mostly very sick from, having been shot and almost dying.
Sure.
Can I try and pick the lock?
Yeah, you can try and pick the lock.
Can I use crime and sneak?
Yes, that would be the correct combination for picking that lock.
Cool, I have those.
Well, great. Roll your base and then 2 additional d10, 3d10.
Gotcha.
Nice.
So the 8 is a full success. You pick this lock, and you can go ahead into the office, which that is back here. Okay, why won't you? There you go. You go into an empty office, no guard dogs. This
Does
is
it look like the coast is clear?
a much smaller office than Neza's. There are bookshelves. There's a bunch of documents, scrolls. This is an office.
I'm gonna go through the documents and scrolls. Does it look like is it all kind of put together still, or is it kind of like someone was rifling through it?
No, it does not seem to have this office does not seem to have been broken into, rifled through, anything like that since
Cool.
the day at all that you can tell.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, this is one of the offices. It's yours if you want it.
All of
'Cause you
the
got the-
office works that I do. Yes.
Yes, all that office was so much paperwork, you know. Anyway, moving on. There's another office. You know, I understand that this one's a little too small for you. I actually don't know if this other one is an office. Maybe the attack dogs are in here.
Then
I say,
perhaps I
backing
should
away
go
from
first.
the door.
Yes.
This door is not locked. You open it and find it's storage. There's like a place to eat your lunch, essentially back here, like a little break room, storage room.
Does it look like there's anything interesting stored here?
No, it's kind of just, it's like office provisions, things that you would need to maintain an office. It's really, honestly, like, you kind of rifle through like the little chest in the corner, and it's like there's some, like cleaning supplies and a few like shared communal food things, and world's best boss type mugs, and that's really
I take
about
one
it.
of those.
You take a world's best boss
Yes.
mug. Yeah, add it to your inventory. Hennis now has a world's best boss, Spire's best boss mug. Okay.
I think there's one more room or back here if we want to check that out.
Where is that?
I think it's over here.
Yep. The door, is right where you are. This one is locked.
Can I try and pick it again?
Try and pick it again. Critical success. Very nice. The door swings open, and you find a third office. This one has 2 desks in it, as you can see, and just more kind of cases full of just stuff. It's a lot of documents, a lot of drafts of things, papers, scrolls, letters, that kind of stuff.
Do I see anything that came from somewhere else? Like a correspondence or like a notice from someone else about us? This?
So you do see letters on this desk, right? That is actually what's there. If you want to try to look for more of that kind of thing, I would need an investigate check.
I don't think Hennis really cares to investigate letters.
Okay.
I think Kelby sure as hell would.
Okay.
So it's an investigate, and then what would the the domain be for that?
This is a good question. I I want to say commerce, but this is really kind of more occult, I guess. So let's do occult.
Perfect.
Lucky.
So it would be investigate an occult then?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Because it's
That's good.
shit, you know?
Sure.
Okay. 7 is success with stress. So let's see. You start rummaging around this office, and as you do, you find the letters that are on top of the desk. There's one from Faisal, or from Faisal's kind of business manager. He doesn't necessarily write these kinds of letters himself, inquiring as to the progress being made on the project in Derelictus. This one is not addressed to anybody at Harmonious Properties. It's just addressed to Harmonious Properties. There is another letter from someone named Marilee Erston, and I can put that in the chat if you want. And this one is Marilee seems to be someone in charge in some way, like she's perhaps someone's boss. Spelled in the chat for y'all. And this one is kind of like essentially kind of a very standard short communication that is establishing a meeting time, and the meeting seems to be about the Derelictus project, and it's just like, you know, here, like a office memo. This is when we're meeting, this is where we're meeting, and the location of the meeting is at what you it's at another address in the gardens. I don't think that you would know what that address is. And as you're kind of finishing up that investigation, you will take 2 stress, 2 shadow, as the doors to Harmonious Properties open, and in walks a well, you don't know yet, but you hear the doors open, and basically this person, whoever, you know, as you is kind of discovering you in the act of investigating this office, and that's where the shadow stress is coming from. So what is
Man with a gun.
what's your total stress right now?
My total stress is going to be, you said it was 2 to shadow?
Yeah.
It's going to be 1
Okay,
then,
so we
because I have
won't.
a plus
Yeah,
1 to shadow.
perfect. So we won't roll because you can't roll lower than 1 for Fallout,
Sure.
but I will mark that you have stress. Okay. All right. So yeah, you hear this door open, and a voice calls out from kind of the doorway area, like, "Hello, hello," and like you hear someone walking over. I would say because you have to take stress on this, you don't have time to like cover up what you were doing before you're
Sure.
discovered.
Do I have time to hide?
Yeah, you can make a sneak and crime domain check to see how well you can kind of hide yourself.
Here we go.
Critical success. Okay. Andrew just
Nice.
Hennis just loves
Awesome.
those crit 10s. So yeah, where does Hennis hide?
Underneath the desk.
Under the desk, okay.
Yeah.
So
but it's
Hennis,
a 10, so they don't see me.
Yeah, Hennis curls up under the desk and kind of pulls the chair in a little and is safely hidden away. And I didn't make a token, so we won't have a token. Although I guess I probably do have some tokens I can just throw in as placeholders. And you see coming into the room is a drow woman. She is fairly well dressed. Looks like perhaps a business person. She does not have a mask of any kind, indicating that she is from, like, on behalf of a high elf coming down to kind of see you. Let's see, do I have any? Okay, well, we just won't have a token for her. Sorry. And she has kind of like older brow features. She's not old, but older. You kind of lines around her eyes, long hair, and she comes into the room. And you see behind her, flanking her, are a pair of what would be guards. They're not city guards, but they are like hello cats. They are definitely like they like mercenary style, hired by
Like
her
personal guards.
personal guards.
Sure.
Yeah. And she comes in and she's kind of hands on hips. Excuse me, what are you doing in this office?
Hello, I'm the new owner here. My name is Kelly Talena, and I take out my deed of transfer and show it to her. You can look at that there. It
She does
maps
take
everything
it.
out pretty plain.
Yeah, so she takes it and kind of looks over it, eyebrow arched, and she hands it back to you and says, so do you know what happened to Neza then? I just, came in the other day and their office was a wreck. There's blood everywhere. Can't find them. It seems that they gave you this paper at least, or signed this paper for you.
Yes, Neza came to me pretty distressed. They well, and I'm gonna walk her and her guards over to the room
Okay.
with the blood and what have you
Mhm.
in it to get them away from Hennis at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm just like they I for the life of me I couldn't tell you what happened, but they were going on and on about this terrible attack on their life, and they really fear for the business, and they knew me as someone who can take care of themselves and see that their vision is enacted. I hope this can stay between us, of course, but I'm just kind of overseeing the uh, what's the word for it? They have autistic freedom, and I am just the name on the paper, really. So I thought I'd come in and try and tidy the place up tonight, so that tomorrow, people can come in here and there's not blood all over the place.
Go ahead and roll deceive.
Sure.
And roll. I think this would be commerce domain, so
Damn it.
yep, you get to roll 2d10 on this.
It's better than one.
Okay, so the 6 means success at a cost. So you will take stress on this, and okay, so I lied. That's not true because I forgot something. And
Oh.
that is that this person, you were rolling at difficulty, which is not something we've talked much about.
So that is a failure then.
Yes, it is a failure. So it is a failure, and you do take stress.
What does difficulty mean?
Difficulty
Sorry.
means that's okay. So there's difficulty 1 and difficulty 2, and for each level of difficulty, I subtract that number from whatever your roll is. So Kelvy actually rolled, if it was a difficulty 1, it's a 5. If it was difficulty 2, it was a 4, right?
Gotcha.
So then what happens is this. She crosses her arms and kind of smiles at you, and she says, that's interesting because the receptionist Mina, she told me something a little different. I don't think we've met. And she holds out her hand. Marilee Erston. And she's offering you a handshake, but she's kind of got you clocked, and we're gonna go ahead and roll stress. Lucky you, 1 on a d6, and you can put that to shadow as well. So that's now
sure.
2. So I'll roll fallout. It has to be a 10, or sorry, a 1 for you to actually take fallout on this. You not. So, and she's like, so, you know, the receptionist, Mina, you must have met. I heard all about the gunfight and Neza bleeding out. And in fact, you do match the description of the person that Mina saw here that she told me about. See, the funny thing about you being the owner of Harmonious Properties is that I'm the owner of Harmonious Properties. Neza was my project manager, and I I'm just curious. I'm not sure what to make of this whole affair. This is clearly Neza's signature on a document that Neza does not have the authority to sign.
You said this woman's a drow?
Mm-hmm.
And she owns the properties up there?
She owns the company, Harmonious Properties, or she's claiming to.
Oh, okay.
So
I guess I just thought drow weren't allowed to do that kind of shit. So sorry, I'll shut up.
Okay. we can talk about the kind of world thing here too, right? Like there are wealthy drow, there are business people drow, right? Like there's actually the actual population of high elves is quite small comparatively, and most of anything that goes on under kind of this, so what's the level below Amaranth, I'll look it up, is pretty much all drow, and then that like one level below Amaranth is kind of partial drow but mostly high elves, and then above that an Amaranth is all high elves, but the rest of Spire is all drow, and so it would be pretty unsustainable for the high elves to do everything, right? So
Okay.
yeah, this person,
Sorry.
yeah, no, it's okay. Most of these kinds of businesses and things do ultimately report to some kind of high elf administrator or council person, etc., but would be owned and kind of the day-to-day carried out by an average person. And just for the record, I did say on the very first time that you came in here talking to Neza, that Neza told you that like they don't have the authority to speak for all of Harmonious Properties. So I don't want you to feel too much like bamboozled here.
You got me.
Yeah, so anyway, Marilee has kind of presented this information to you and is waiting for you to account for yourself.
Yeah, no, great. Is Neza's artwork, is that in their office?
Yeah,
or is that...
it's actually like these little things on the wall here are little are art. They have them kind of all around their office. A few of them they did take with them. I think that's one thing, like they didn't take much with them when they left, but one thing that I remember telling you that they took was a few of their designs and art off the wall.
Sure. Did they take the most this artwork?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, okay.
There's definitely still some that has what you would recognize as kind of similar dreamscapes and things. Enough that like it's to you or to someone else who's had those kinds of dreams, you would clock that as like, oh, I see. That's some this influence.
So I'm just gonna okay. And then I'm gonna look for one of those paintings, artwork. I'm gonna walk up to it and be like, do you ever have dreams like this?
She
point to it.
Kind of tilts her head and gives you kind of a long appraising gaze before nodding.
So you share in certain dreams?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Oh, I was hoping I was wrong. God damn it. Okay. Great. Well, you haven't talked to Neza?
I haven't been able to find Neza. Mina came to me, and Neza has been missing.
That's horrible. Well, Nina left with Neza. I have no idea what happened to them. Did Nina tell you exactly what happened?
I asked her quite a few questions. She explained that you and another drow with a hyena were here, that someone burst through the door and shot Neza, that Neza signed this document. I didn't know what the document was, but Nina did observe you signing and informed me about it. And that's what I know.
Sure, sure. Well, allow me to fill in the blanks and let me just apologize for attempting to deceive you. It's you got a mind like a steel trap, let me tell you.
Can I just say that Kelvy is like oozing schmooze right now? Just like
Yeah, the line, you have a mind like a steel trap, that really did it for me.
So, I'm gonna be very, very honest with you. I'm just a guy who owns a small rag in Derelictus. But I too, share in the dream. The my associate with the hyena is one of my flatmates in Derelictus, and they were actually invited by Neza to come meet here. It's our property that's looking to be demoed and rebuilt and such. So I said, yeah, sure, I'll come along, and so that's how I got here. Now, as I told Neza, there were I speculated people who might want to make an attempt on their life because of the ramifications of what Harmonious Properties is going to be doing to that building. There's as I speculated, anti-vis sect within our ranks. Oh, sorry, I look at her guards. Are they friends?
Are they cool?
Are they cool? Are we?
Are they friends of Mother?
They don't blink, and she doesn't blink.
Cool, love that. Yeah. So, yeah, the guy came through the door, got a shot off on Neza. I took a shot on them, and that unfortunately killed them. And well, if you're wondering what happened to the body, the hyena of my associate needed to feed. So that's that. Oh, right. And then why did I forge a document? You might be wondering. It's a great question. I would love to answer it. So yeah, Neza, not a fighter. I spent my durance doing some pretty not great things for my master, and that's just how that went. So I knew that if push came to shove, that I can shove back, and I as a sharer in the dream, stand a better chance at seeing it to fruition than Neza. So here I am.
So here you are.
Here I
am.
At this point, can Hennes walk up to the door?
Yeah, you're coming in from the main entrance. Okay.
Are you ready to go, sir? Oh, we still have company.
Yes. If you'll excuse me, this is my my associate.
Your associate. see it. And she kind of looks over Hennis and raises an
I'm
eyebrow
gonna-
at you, like waiting
I'm
for.
gonna try. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm just gonna try and look like as intimidating, if not more, as the two guys that she has with her.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you actively trying to do anything with the intimidation right now, or just like that's your demeanor?
No, just the hands crossed, kind
Mhm.
of puff it out as
Yeah,
much as you can.
sure.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, Calvi, was it?
Yes.
Actually, before we continue, let's do a second deceive roll, because some of what you said was true and some of what you said wasn't.
It was a mixed bag.
Mixed bag. So yeah, you can roll deceive again. Oh.
Sure.
8. This one was not at difficulty because she did not have inside information on this.
Sure.
These particular details. Well, Calvi, this is all very strange. I don't know why Neza, who was always quite fanatic in their work, would relinquish this project to you. But getting shot does drive people to strange behaviors.
Real quick,
Mhm.
I don't know if this is going to color any of her response,
Mhm.
but with my trust me ability, when I convince someone to trust me against their better judgment, I gain them as a temporary bond.
Okay. There's no wording in that says like you make them trust you, right? It's like when they trust you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So they have to trust me against their better judgment. So
Okay.
I don't know if we're even there yet, but
Yeah.
that just to
I think like that literally was going to be kind of her next line, was like, I don't trust you.
Sure,
Because
sure.
this all reeks. The fact that you and your hyena, what's the word? Wielding? That's not quite right. Your companion with the hyena live in this building that Harmonious Properties is overseeing the renovation of is concerning. It seems like quite a conflict of interest for a burgeoning business person. What do you want from Harmonious Properties?
Son of a bitch. That's a great question. You know, that is a great question.
Also, Minrai would be hearing everything you're saying because of the
it's
whispers.
still the same day. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's still the same day.
You know, sometimes I like to ask my inner voice, what do I want? It's specifically in this case from Harmonious Properties.
That is a good question.
The idea that she's just like sitting there waiting.
I'm gonna pause and just really think about this for a minute.
Tell her you want to continue the work. That is why you took it, yes, because he was in danger from assassins, and then you take the business and you just want it to work.
Mm.
Do that, and then kill her maybe.
Minrai, are you relaying what he's saying to all of us?
No, I'm just in a corner, like.
Oh, but you could only hear
scrubbing the walls. Yeah.
It was also pointed out that you could only hear what Kelvy's saying too.
Yes. But I do know that.
I just rephrased the question, so Minrai.
Fair. Yeah. Sorry, I'm paying attention.
I mean, I would. Yeah. I don't know. Based on what I could have heard, I think that's what Minrai would go with. Is just you're there to continue Nezaday's work, basically, and then you should kill her.
You know, I have good voices in here, and I got bad voices in here.
Kill her.
Totally safe thing to say to a person that doesn't trust you.
Kill her.
Yeah. So what does Kelvy want? That is a great Thank you for asking me such a complicated question.
You do not have to answer question if she does not exist.
Make another man with a gun happen.
Yeah. Don't you have a party thing too? Use that one as well at the same time.
He didn't take that advance.
Oh,
I
no.
did not. I took trust me, but she doesn't trust me yet. God damn it. Yeah. So I would love more than anything to I was actually told in a dream I should come here. Here I am. Very glad, so that we can meet. This is great. Also, I would really love to, one, see this project to its fruition, and two, I would love to just make sure that anything that could possibly be an issue, to be able to stamp that out personally.
Well, Kelvy, the first step perhaps to stamping out issues might be for you to, if we want to establish a relation, I'm not sure what to make of you, but we have a common goal. That much I believe. And if you would like to make this a working relationship that we could see going on into the future, perhaps the first thing you could do to establish some trust here is find Neza and attend our business meeting. And she looks over at Hennis. Why bring your muscle? Leave him. But we're meeting, and this is the same as the note that you saw in the office. She gives you, it's in not the next day, like, so if today's Wednesday, which, weeks, not really the same in Spire, but we're using Wednesday as a common measure. If today is Wednesday, it would be on Friday.
On Friday, sure.
Mm-hmm. And she gives you an address in the gardens, and a time to show up, which was 10:30 in the morning. So 10:30 in the gardens on Friday. And she wants, and she's like, so if you can find Neza, if you can help us see the whole picture through not just your word, not just Nina's, but also our trusted associate Neza, perhaps we can build a working relationship.
I would very much like that. I should mention, and now that I have the opportunity to mention it, there's been a lot of I'll say grumbling. That's probably a more polite word than it deserves, but there's been a lot of grumbling at the at the apartment that's going to be demolished, and I understand why we're doing it, but I wonder, is there any way that we could provide housing for those that are going to be displaced? Because I don't know if clearly you're very well off.
It's not an option.
As are your associates, but I would have to ask,
why do you not just kill her?
If you've lived a day in Derelictus.
She does not care about the Derelictus.
A single night on the streets is it's awful. You could die. It's just
she should die.
To be I'm sorry. Sometimes the voices in my head need to really just stop. Thank you. Anyway,
do I need to remind you about the eggs? We cannot move them. Do not stop talking. She will be confused just because I am voice in head. You have to talk over.
So if people, I have a really bad headache. I apologize. If if there's any way to give housing to people, I know that one of the biggest obstacles right now is going to be that goddamn midwife in the basement. It's
Yes,
the
I would.
clutch.
Great
You know,
clutch.
they got to
Clutch
protect
is
the clutch
important.
with
You
their
don't have to
life.
bring the clutch into the center of her attention, unless you plan
Staring
to
at Kelby. I'm staring
take her.
daggers at Kelby.
Unless you plan to take her
Um,
skin off or something.
She's-
And you know, the more drow that are around, the better it is, you know, to bring this into the world, right? So I worry that to put the clutch especially in danger would be well, it would send a bad message to, you know, anybody who found out, you know, that Harmonious Properties and the Viscant, you know, in general, were kind of behind it, because, you know, it would be the destruction of
Kelby,
hundreds of young drow lives. Son of a bitch.
this is.
She's so over you.
I know.
Stab her to death.
She kind of gives you another considering look after she's interrupted you and says, one step at a time, Kelvy. This is interesting information, and information is valuable. So, more of that first. And then we'll talk requests.
Sounds wonderful.
And
It should not sound wonderful. She should be dying.
if it's good to know that there's been some unrest at the building, and I think we can work with that information. For now, let's she motions to her guards, and they come into the room. We're going to get this mess cleaned up, and we'll see you on Friday, hopefully with Neza. And this is essentially a dismissal. Yep.
Sure. Before me and my associate skedaddle on out of your hair here, where did Nina last see Neza?
Well, Nina came by my office today, which is, she gestures, well, I don't think she wrote it down. She reminds you of the address that she gave you earlier.
Sure.
I think that she said that he left Neza at their home, like Neza's home. Nina does not share a home with Neza.
Sure.
Helped them get to their home, which is where they requested to go. Although, from what it sounds like, they should have probably gone to seek medical attention, from what I can tell. And she's kind of looking at this pile of blood.
Great. Thank you so much. It was wonderful meeting you.
You are going to let her leave with this information. You are. That was not greeting of knife to skin. That was goodbye. Kill her. I heard all of it except for all the stuff she said, but I assume you told her about us.
Yeah, and y'all leave?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Where are you?
Unless Hennis, like, as I'm walking by, if you give me any look, or, you know, if you want to do something.
Marley is still there, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Marilee
Mounting
and
her.
both
Stab her
guards.
in
Marilee.
half.
Yes, her guards are now kind of half-heartedly scrubbing some of this blood up with rags.
I will follow Kelby out.
Mhm.
And once we're actually out of the building, I will throw him into an alleyway.
Okay.
Yeah, that checks out.
What are you doing?
I panicked, Dennis.
No.
I panicked.
That's not true, is it, called mind?
I can tell
sorry,
Hennis
alright?
is going to lay into you. I will let him do work. He is there. I am not.
Yeah, let Hennis torture me. I don't need it happening in my head at the same time.
Well, I think you do, honestly, but he has better fists than I have words.
Listen, all in all, Hannes, I think it went. If we had to grade that on a 1 to 10 scale, that was definitely like a solid 4.
Using that was a 4.
Okay, a 3.5. But
Are you
I
sure
can't go any lower than that.
Fits on a 1 to 10 scale.
It's not a 1.
No, it is something less than a 1. It is a 0. We got nothing out of that. I've been sticking my neck out for you all day long, and then this is what you do, and Minhai can hear everything that you are saying. I cannot keep trying to defend you like this if you keep just going and making all of these deals with other people that we do not trust.
It's like it's a what's it called? Well, it's playing the long game.
Well, the long game ends in 2 days. What is your plan?
Okay. Short game is me.
Do not talk to me about short game when you just said that we are playing the long game.
Well, yeah, no, I'm saying like, were I to play the short game?
But you have just said that we are not.
It sounds like you're winning that.
I'm saying if we were playing a shorter game,
we are not. You need to think about the games that we are actually playing.
Yes,
why are you playing games? Do not play games. This is clutch. Hack her down and take off her head.
Okay, all right. Minrai wants me to fucking kill her. Now that's not that doesn't help us.
Doesn't
better to have somebody in your back pocket than dead on the street. I could will someone into the story of our lives, and it would be a 3 on. Well, I don't know if she was armed, but we could have done it hypothetically.
That is not what I mean. I agree that was not an option for us at the time. I think perhaps Minhai does not know how much danger we would have been in if we had tried to go after her. Perhaps. I don't believe that she ever called out the 2 men. I did not hear anything until I walked by. So perhaps Minhai is being harder on you than I may be. But maybe not. What were you saying about this game?
Hey, right. Long game. Okay, so hear me out, right?
Getting with the games.
We're trying to get this our apartment. We're trying to keep it from getting. Well, actually, no. We're just trying to take initiative, right? So, what is taking initiative?
That is what the paper said.
We could hypothetically, if we what's her name? Ms. Erston, if we can get in on her good graces, then perhaps we could get Faisal in our back pocket, and then from there we can do other things. Perhaps the apartment is but a springboard to greater change.
But this morning we did not need Ms. Erston to get into Faisal's pocket or the other way around. Why do we need her now?
Well, because she knows that I forged a document that incriminates me, for one thing, and it would be better to have her as a friend, given the amount of sway I'm sure she has with the Viscount at large, who are trying to take the building.
And speaking of this morning, how much longer do you think that you can keep befriending these people and then trying to work against them in secret?
That's a great question. I'm gonna be honest with you. Time is really running out.
I'm not kidding.
If you keep waking up screaming.
Yeah, we're gonna figure that out. But I am sure that charisma will win the day eventually.
Then we should pick some up because it seems we do not have enough between us.
Can you buy some from the store? I seem to have used all of mine on Tuesday. For Wednesday has been a just awful day for me.
Well, I don't have the pure stuff, but I have this, and I hold out my bottle.
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh my
Tell
god.
us crime.
Oh,
Tell
Tell
us
us
crime.
Now
Hell
compelled
yeah.
to tell Hennis a crime.
Cool.
Since you drink it, I do too, as a
is
show
it-
of solidarity.
Yeah, right. So is it the most recent crime or is it just any crime?
A crime you've been in or involved with.
Or witness to, right? In case,
Yeah,
like, yeah,
like-
I suppose in
Mhm.
case there's like a really good goody two shoes around who has not been in any crimes.
Sure. I mean,
We don't hang
since
around with narcs.
yeah.
True.
Since you already know about my most recent one, which was, just murder.
Well, murder.
Murder.
There's two of them right next to each other.
I'm trying to think of one that would be yeah, probably something along the lines of like Kelvy probably in a drug-fueled rage on, Dagger, probably beat a man near death for like just shit talking the Moonbeam as a shitty collection of short stories. No idea what happened to that person, whether they're alive or dead, but that is a crime that Kelby tells you.
And Minrai also hears, thanks to just as a reminder.
You beat people to death over silly paper that I help you keep typewriter, but you do not murder woman who now knows that I am helping clutch and stopping apartment.
Kelvy, you
I'm
have
a good
always told
person
me
at
best
heart.
stories.
Are you?
So where are Hennis and Kelvy headed? It is nighttime in the gardens. And yeah. Going.
Want to go back or do you want to do some sightseeing? I hear the hanging gardens are great this time of night.
I do not think it's time for sightseeing, given what you told random person I do not know. Who was she? What does she know? Why does she know this and not be dead?
I have seen enough hanging potteries for. Uh, perhaps we should instead find these buildings that you will be going to on Friday, just so that we know where it is.
Yeah, that checks out. Let's do that.
And from what we understand, she will not be there now, so lead the way.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go find an address.
All right. You can make an investigate check. With
Can I help?
Yes. Easily. So you can have investigate, help. This would probably be. I would give you low society for this, or commerce, but you don't have commerce. So yeah, you can have 4d10 for this one. It makes sense to you. You have time to just kind of wander. There's not a lot of people around. There's nothing really going on. So, theory.
Are we both rolling or just one of us?
Rolling.
Just one, I presume. I mean, one person with help from the other. But whoever wants to risk taking the stress can roll, or has the correct investigate skill.
Sure.
I do not have investigate.
I have investigate, so I guess that's the best way for us to get 4d10 then. Let's see if we could find this thing.
Yeah, so that 9.
Nice.
So it's not too hard to track down. You're not super familiar with this area, but it's not very far from where Harmonious Properties kind of building is. It takes you maybe 15 minutes to kind of circle your way over to it, but yes, you do find and emblazoned above the door are the words Herald Corporation.
Oh shit.
Didn't you say something about that before? I don't remember it being very
Yeah,
positive.
let's walk and talk. So when we're a considerable distance away, like let's go find a Guttikin and get us the fuck out of here. So as we're going to do that, I'm going to explain to Hennis, the whole deal with the Herald Corporation, and that they are like the front for the Viscount, that I know of, at least. So I'm gonna be meeting with some Viscount bigwigs, I guess. That's not great.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
I
I
have
believe in you, friend.
already thrown you into an alleyway and done that whole spiel. As much as I would like to do it again,
Kill
perhaps
them.
this is another reason to stop making deals with people that you know you shouldn't be making deals with. Perhaps.
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 All
Then I'll
right.
call us a gutterkin to take us
That
back
perhaps was
Okay.
perfect.
Oh
Oh my
Taxi.
gosh.
You make you make your way. You get in late in the night. Past midnight. Back to the apartment. Everybody else was busy making concrete, filling in cracks, scrubbing the hatchery walls, and talking. As Minrai was scrubbing the walls, just furiously muttering to Kelvy. Anything else that you all would have done? I mean, keeping in mind that the concrete and everything would have taken you well into the late part of the night. So this would be like pushing into like early hours of morning if you want to
I
do.
mean, I think we should have like a late night sleepover where we all stay up and make Wednesday last as long as possible.
Well, midnight has
We can have-
happened, so it's Thursday,
Ugh.
one way or the other at this point.
Damn it!
Okay.
I'd like to do something at
Yeah.
11:50. Yeah.
Give me one good reason it has to happen at 11:50, and I'll consider it.
I have an essay due at midnight.
Nope.
and
Okay,
I
so
need to
you all
write
go
the
to
whole thing.
bed.
Don't go to bed.
You don't go
Yeah,
to bed.
I'm not going to bed. I'm
No.
staying up all night.
To scrub walls. Yeah.
It's Wednesday forever.
So Hennis, what are you doing?
I'm doing my semi-annual nighttime routine.
Right. Okay,
Jumping around
so
on rooftops and stuff.
yes. Would you like to tell everyone who may be curious what's happening?
So my my class is actually more of a kind of masked vigilante class. And the way that Hennis was built is that he kind of does what he needs to during the day, goes up Spire when he needs to, and at night is really when he kind of walks around and does whatever
Batman.
he thinks he can to keep the derelictus safe.
You're Batman.
So, I mean, pretty much.
Yes.
So the way
So,
that we
like
have
my refresh is to bring a criminal to justice, so that's very much what the class is built on.
Do you have a Joker?
His name is Farquaad.
we
Yes.
I built a rollable table, which I don't think you can see, so I'll roll and we can change that if you want. But basically there's different weights to different types of things that encounters that you might come across. So let's see what you get tonight. Okay, so ghouls attack a random drow. Seems in keeping. As you're kind of patrolling, keep in mind, like, although nighttime, daytime, like, there's somewhat kept in Derelictus because business people up Spire require people to be awake at their hours. Mostly people are awake when they want down here. There's not really like night and day the same way. And so the crowds don't super thin out at night. And as you're kind of getting closer over to the part of Derelictus that you happen to know from Barnabas is populated by ghouls. You do find kind of a drunken, out of their mind kind of drow person, just kind of walking along and a ghoul attacking them.
There's a huge bee outside.
Well,
it's
good thing you're inside.
So what do I do about this? Because we didn't really want it to be full, drawn out
Yeah.
interactions.
So, what would Hennis do? Would Hennis step in and save this person's life?
Yes.
All right. So, we'll just roll like a fight. We'll assume that you can easily take out a ghoul by yourself. So we'll have you roll one fight roll, and then that will be the total amount of stress you take if you fail, or if you yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to win against this ghoul no matter what. The higher
Okay.
you roll on this, the less stress you take from the fight.
Okay.
So more like a resist roll.
I'm getting a base and a fight.
Yes, and low society.
Okay.
Okay, so you win the fight, but it doesn't go especially well for you, and you will take. That is take a d6 stress to blood. Ooh, you take 6 stress. It was a very unfortunate fight.
If at all feasible.
Wait. Oh, no. Okay. Never mind.
If at all feasible, I can show up.
So what does that put you at? That you
9
had
total.
3, so you're at, oh god. Okay.
That's not really like an attack, so I can't really use my thing, right?
What thing? No, you could. This is stress taken from a ghoul, so I would totally permit that it rewrites it down to a 1, right?
Yeah. When you would roll, I just take 1 instead.
Yeah, that's me rolling stress for you. Okay, so that puts you at 4 total. That's a good good use of that. So let's see. I have to roll a 3 or lower, which I do.
It will not save me.
But a 9 fallout would have been death, and the 3 fallout is like you're probably fine. You got like some cuts, you know. Let me see what we want to do for fallout. Oh, this is the wrong book. I was like, why am I encountering entirely different things than I expected on these pages? That's why. Okay. Okay. We'll say bleeding until you get proper medical care. Each time you make an action, mark 1 stress against blood before you roll.
Okay. How do you, my GM, define an action?
Something you would roll for.
Okay. And then how much stress do I lose from taking a fallout?
That's a minor fallout, so you can lose, I think, 3 stress.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, and
I had one more question.
Yes.
Does armor stress get removed the same way as regular stress?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Okay, that's Hennis's night. All right. In the morning, you all are surrounded by degenerates still. This little thing on the map. Okay. Apparently it was a sleepover in this back bedroom. Nobody wants the other bedroom.
Yeah, everybody in Barnabas's bedroom. It's a party.
All right, and you all come to. It is Thursday morning.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Wait, when they get here, can I slap Kelby? Just to rewind it real quick back to Wednesday.
No, you were already in bed. It's Thursday morning.
Okay.
Putting my foot down.
If
you made Lena cry.
For anything, you'll fall for nothing, whatever it is.
Entropy will happen.
I mean, you can slap Kelby now. It is.
I slap Kelby. I wait. I want to like spider my way into Kelby's room and like wait for him to wake up.
Do I have any bad dreams?
Am I screaming again?
No, you do not have bad dreams tonight.
Why? Because you helped the Viscount be evil.
So
maybe it's true neutral, you know? Who knows?
So, who here has stress to mind or blood right now?
I have 2 stress to mind.
I might.
Not
Fuck
me.
do
I have
I
stress to
have?
blood.
Nope. I have stress to my armor. Does that count?
You can
Since I
refresh
put it there.
if it's is it blood. Yeah, blood armor is blood stress technically. So yes.
Well, I have 2 resistance marked off to it, right? So
Yeah.
that would be able to take care of that. Okay.
If you were to do
So
like
yes,
if,
me.
Yeah.
I ask only because I don't know if, like, upon waking up, it would make sense for me to use Rite of Respite.
Okay. Sure.
I do get to use it once per session, so I'll still probably get to use it another 4 or 5 more times today, like on Thursday.
All right. So so yeah, can you tell us a little about what you do?
Sure. So Ulrich is feeling pretty good after sealing up the basement cracks yesterday. And so he managed to wake up like right as the sun was rising, except there is no sun in Derelictus. So whatever the correlate for us is. And he goes ahead and starts making like a pancake breakfast for everyone.
Aww.
Nice.
Yeah. And I guess we're all just kind of sitting around the dinner table at this point, but not for dinner. Yeah. So I think I just made everyone a really good breakfast, and that healed all their blood stress this time.
Very nice. All right.
So it heals blood stress?
Yeah, blood and mind. It can restore up to 3 stress per person.
Take out those 2 checks then.
Okay.
Did you ask for the stresses of people before I got on?
I did, yes. Could you tell me what Barnabas is at?
I am just at 1 in shadow.
All right. And you do have the ongoing fallout of the injury to your shoulder still.
Yes.
Because that will take either a long time in game to heal or magical advancement for healing.
Does our healer have that kind of magical advancement, or I would need to seek that out elsewhere?
You said Marguerite is a healer.
Yes, Marguerite is a healer and
Okay.
Does use magic. I don't know if anyone in the party has any sort of magical healing besides like Rite of Respite and stuff, but that's a little different.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I could keep summoning people with guns and ask if they're doctors.
Yeah, there you go. Eventually, statistically, one of them has to be a doctor with a gun.
Eventually.
Thousands of years into the future, as Kelby continues to summon people for Barnabas is like, I'm healed. It's fine. It's been 2 months.
I will find you a doctor.
I don't think I'll wake Kelby up, but when I see Kelby, I will slap
you felt too bad.
and then give you a hug afterwards. But I will slap you with the force of an angry mother whose child was threatened.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, but I'll give you a hug after, and I'll say, don't you ever put this in danger. Ever.
Yep.
I support you, and I will help you with whatever plan this is. But if the clutch is in danger because of you, I will kill them, and then I will kill you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, that my first, I can't really call it a demand because I'm in no place to make demands. But if I find Neza and I can bring them to the meeting and I can get Neza's story to corroborate with mine, then I hope that I can be like, hey, so there's this clutch, right? Can we work something out with this clutch? You know, it's a lot of drow.
I
down there.
would like to remind you of 2 things.
Yes.
1, I can no longer be in your head like Little Bird. I know that is possibly released to you, but do not worry, I will still be in your ear like Loud Mother.
It is good.
And
Great.
2, I think the best way to get everybody disinterested is to close the cracks that everybody wants. If we make them go away, there is no reason for them to come here.
That's a temporary fix, though. That's the problem.
Temporary?
Well, I mean,
magically
if you fill
close,
them in,
not physically. Magically. like
Uh,
with like
how in control of my urge to help this am I at the moment?
So I think something that I was thinking about with this is, essentially you've succumbed twice to kind of these
Yeah.
roles, right?
Yeah.
So there are 10 total options on the list. I would say you are 2/10 converted, right? Like,
Okay.
and keep in mind, like, acting completely against the will of Vis is outside the question. But acting in favor of Vis's will is also not something you're necessarily super compelled to do right now.
Right.
Just like with keeping in mind like that dream and how Calvi reacted to it as kind of a non-compulsory reason to act, right?
Sure.
So, but in terms of like how much in control of it you are, I'd say 2/10 not in control. Right?
Great. And then I guess just going off that, then would you consider acting kind of like if I were to take actions that would work towards like a neutrality kind of a thing, like an even ground between kind of helping the ministry and helping the Viscant, like is that like a gray area there?
Yeah,
Okay.
and also Kelvy
Okay.
like doing things that ultimately like supporting the ministries like and protecting the clutch, for example, like those kinds of motivations still fine, right? And like if the Viscant goal is removed, it doesn't necessarily mean the property won't be destroyed, but
Right.
it would make this so that Kelvy is not acting against the will of Vis,
Sure.
if that makes sense. You can do
Yes.
both. It's just navigating it is
Right.
tough.
Right. We're gonna work this out. My brain just needs to, you know. Um,
yes, I know. I was in your brain for quite a bit.
yeah, it's scary in there, isn't it?
Well, only when you talk.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
I tell you what, friend. All you need to do is delay. If you can delay until I figure out what these cracks are, that will help us. Delay and delay as long as you can. And if you can get to Neza and you can get me in front of, or sorry, if you can get to Farquad and get me in front of Farquad, I will be able to see into his soul. That is all that.
And what would being
you
able to see into his soul do for us, really? I mean, we all kind of
Well-
already know that he just is self-righteous, Aleph bastard, but
Didn't we
You
learn
don't know that.
there was more to it than that?
true.
Like out of character? Sorry.
We know that he might be somewhat on the side of this, possibly.
I thought what it was is that
From what I
not
learned,
doing it for the fun of it.
he's not good enough.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
I thought-
his motivations are still very much a question. From what
Yeah,
you learned.
that's
from-
but the fact that Farquad is supposed to be at this meeting at the Herald Corporation kind of makes me think that
I'm sorry, if just to clarify, the two letters were different. Faisal was asking for an update from his like business management side, and the
Okay.
meeting was being called by Marilee.
Okay, I thought that Marilee had said that Faisal was going to be there. My apologies. Okay.
Yeah.
I had that wrong in my notes. Okay, well then in that case, very much might be the case that getting into his brain and picking it could be good.
And out of character, my power just lets me know what someone wants to protect, but that would give us leverage, right? We have nothing on Lord Farquaad right now. So if we can get rid of the cracks, which would get rid of the reason for the ghouls and for the Viscant to try and get into the thing, then my reasoning is at that point, the only one that's left is Lord Farquaad. And all we have to do in that case is get leverage on him. And
All right, so
point him in a different
here's a thought. Why don't we go to Farquaad under the pretense of wanting to apologize for the delay in construction, and then just say that we're doing everything we can, yada yada yada, talk out of our asses. Meanwhile, Minrai uses her ability to see into his, deepest desires about what he wants to protect.
That is what a mother is good for. Yes, I think this is a good idea. I am very good at posing as slowly servant. I spent many years in the Grand Library minding my own business while I learned.
Well, we only have 3 of the Lord Faisal masks from Amandu. But I do feel like obviously Minrai has to go. Obviously Kelvy has to go. And obviously Amandu has to go.
Do I still have my mask from my...
No, it's not typical to keep masks. You would have masks that permit you to move about in Amaranth without being like stopped, but they would not mark you as having status or placement in any particular place. That's
secondary question.
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that's what distinguishes the masks that you got from Amandu from like a typical mask that a drow would wear up Spire.
Are there mask forgers? Because that seems like it would be a trade that would exist, but I don't know out of character.
Well, we don't know if Amandu, like he had a whole crap ton of them, so he might still have more.
Well, but we also need to find Nether Day by tomorrow. And I know for a fact that Barnabas and Sweet Pea may be able to find a trail of him. Did you not spend some time with his blood?
Oh, yeah, I spent some time with his blood.
That sounds weird.
You are not infected, are
find
you?
Him?
So my hunting stuff has to do with targets I can see and hear. All of my like mastery.
You do you do have pursue, right?
I'm almost positive. Yeah, I do.
So having pursue would, I think, at least get you, on the track if you wanted to go.
Yeah, I would, like, Barnabas is not going to ever put on a mask and go up and pretend to be anything. Like, he just fucking won't. So he won't be a part of that. But I'd be down to pursue and try and find him, since I don't know, just to find out. So he's like, just nobody kind of knows where he went after all this happened? Or?
Right?
It's they, them. As it uses
they, them. Yep.
Yeah, I think they just disappeared, right? They ran away with the receptionist.
Nina.
Yes, the last.
I remember that, but I don't remember that they disappeared or anything. But I remember the receptionist.
I'll relay. Yeah, they were last seen at their home. It was speculated that they, definitely should have sought medical attention. Whether they did or not, though, that they don't really know.
I would suggest that we split into 3 groups again. That seems to lengthen the day, which is very useful for us.
Before we get splitting, I should point out, I can help with the good Lord Faisal, or someone else if we think we need to use it for someone else. But I can I'll say I hate doing it. I really do. But if I publish a glowing portrayal of someone in my paper, I will gain their trust ever so temporarily. I get a temporary bond with someone when I write an article on them
Ooh.
glowingly.
And
So yeah,
also, I was just gonna say, and also, if we can give Faisal the pretense to barely trust you,
that was my thought.
then we could have a more established bond.
Because it's it seems like he enjoys the limelight, so to speak.
Right.
So the more that we shine on him, the easier it is to see his imperfections.
What is the so if I guess I could have this conversation in character, not out of character. If I were to track down Neza, what do you want me to do with them?
Oh, I mean, as soon as I write this, wait, I'm going to go find. I'm gonna go with y'all to Faisal, right? So yeah, when you find,
Yeah, am I going alone to? I mean, I hunt faster alone. I'm sure.
I mean,
but what do I
yeah,
do with them? They don't
So
particularly enjoy my company, shockingly.
I'll go ahead and type up a note for them from their good friend who saved their life, and so all you got to do is deliver the note, and let them know that Kelvy wishes them well and swift recovery, and they got to show up to the meeting tomorrow.
Should I ask them why they lied to us?
No, they did not lie. Vague wording is never lying in my profession, at least.
Oh, that sounds like bullshit, but okay.
Sounds like bullshit to me
The
too.
art of bullshit is a very, very well practiced one if you can do it right. Which I
will earn you many slaps in life.
It sounds like some Spire garbage, so it's fine. Continue.
So
I'll like nudge you, yeah.
I'm gonna make sure that this is in the note, but it's you just let them know that they're gonna have to they're gonna have to show up tomorrow to this meeting, or their old pal Kelvy's head's gonna be on the chopping block, and if
and I'll fucking kill them if they don't.
No,
No.
that is you helped save their life. Don't forget.
I did.
Yeah, so let's not threaten murder. Yeah. If anything, you can say you're there to you're gonna wait with them for a bit, to make sure they're safe, right? Because we want
Do I have to go inside their weird Vis house, or?
They might not be in their Vis house. Well, actually, you might need to go in there, to pick up a better scent. But don't eat anything, especially if it's covered in blood. Like, just don't have sweet pea, eat anything. Like, stay away. If you've seen any weird like artwork, like, just don't.
I really appreciate your concern, Kelvy. It means a lot.
Course. I like to think of myself as a caretaker.
I get that feeling from you.
Thank you. But
Midrai is containing herself right now. Just like sipping some tea,
But yeah, I think you got this, Barnabas. I think you know what to do.
Sure.
All right, so just to very quickly recap what we are all planning here before we all go on break and have to say goodbye to Hennis.
Mm-hmm. You read my mind.
I'm going to run upstairs a couple flights, meet with Amandu, tell him we are calling upon him for help. Gondor calls for aid, and we need We also might need a couple more masks if he has a few lying around. We are going to go up Spire, but before that happens, Kelvy is going to write a note to Neza, basically saying, hey, how's it going? But also, we kind of need you to be at this meeting tomorrow, so hope you're feeling better. And then also, Minrai will be coming up with, hopefully me, Kelvy and Amandu to go meet with Lord Faisal and
Is there
see
any
what
way that we can do that without having Amandu go back up Spire?
I think we kind of need him so we know where we're going.
Just to interject, I need to make a stop at the library, and I need somebody who is good at lying and sneaking.
God, what do you need me for?
And not you, friend.
Sorry.
I need somebody
She doesn't trust you.
who will not be tempted in a place of importance. And I trust you, but I do not trust the other voice that whispers in your ear.
But they don't whisper in my ear when I'm
Well,
awake. I mean, if I
that is
sleep,
okay.
then they'll yell at me. You know, if
Well,
but,
perhaps I
So
will
don't
start
sleep in the
whispering-
library.
Perhaps I will start
Exactly.
whispering in your ear when you are asleep too. But for now, I think that perhaps Ulrich might accompany me to the library.
For what it's worth, in all of my training as a priest and at the bar, I do not have sneaking or lying proficiencies.
Perhaps I could help you.
I do have low society,
Well, I
but
think this would be a high society place.
And perhaps I should
I
help
think
you, Min
You need
Hai.
Hennis.
Okay,
I have high
Hennis.
society and sneak and compel.
Well, we also need somebody who can like break Kelvy in half should that arrive.
Yeah.
Bill Hennis.
So Barnabas-
Hennis.
Okay.
Still, you're
Always
basically
like-
describing Hennis.
No, but we need that to be with Kelvy if we're splitting up.
Oh.
I mean, Amandu's pretty strong.
Okay.
Okay,
So who's going where?
so here's what I'm proposing. Out of character because it's quicker. Barnabas, Kelvy, and Ulrich track down, and Amandu track down what's his face,
Faisal.
Nezadeh, their face.
No, what?
Are you
I thought I
finding
was going by
Nezadeh?
myself. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, then Barnabas tracks down Nezadeh,
Mhm.
while Ulrich and Kelvy set up a meeting with, and Amandu set up a meeting with Lord Farquaad. In the meantime, Hennis and I go to the library and find this book, which will let us seal the cracks. And then we meet up with Kelvy's group and we do the meeting with Lord Farquaad. And then we all meet up with Barnabas, who has found Nezadeh, assuming everything goes perfectly, which it always does. And then we all attend that meeting, or we help attend that meeting with the people that Kelvy is supposed
That
to.
sounds like a great next 7 sessions.
Barnabas does not plan on attending the meeting, and Barnabas would really like to go up to New Heaven at some point.
Okay.
Well, then,
but
we can
pause, hang
follow
on.
you.
We need to
Right,
go to
just
break.
saying.
So
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
next immediate steps, we can finish deciding except for Hennis because Andrew has to go. So
Mhm.
Andrew, is Hennis going with Minrai to the university?
So I would prefer that Hennis goes with Minrai, but first he goes with Ulrich up to see Amandu and tries to ask if he's okay going up and if there's anything that would help him because he knows that this is not a great mind space for Amandu to go into.
Got it.
Are
Okay.
you okay with me doing the voice ritual while you're gone and putting it on your character?
Yeah.
Okay. Just to make sure if it comes up. I don't think I will because
Mhm.
you're going to be with me anyways, so I won't, but just in case.
No, yeah, I would be cool with that.
Okay, cool.
Cool. All right. Then let's go to break. Thank you, Andrew. See you later. And
Bye.
Thanks, Andrew.
Yeah,
Thank
don't burn everything to the
you.
ground.
No, we will.
'Cause
We'll
Hennis-
burn everything
Hennis is
way
the voice
up
of reason
Spire.
that this party needs.
Yeah.
Not expecting that.
Okay, so we will be back in about 10 minutes, so around 8:27, 10:27 Eastern time ish. And don't forget, exclamation point BLM, exclamation point donate, figure out how you can participate and help in the fight for racial justice in the U.S. And I will put us on to the thing if I remember the commands.
No, confidence.
Confidence. Here we go. I remember them. Bye.
Confidence.
Sniper ones.
Let's do it.
No
Yep.
way.
Yeah, it's awesome.
We're bonding over shared theater experiences. How nice. All right. I think we're live again. Hopefully everyone can hear us and see us. Yep, that confidence flew apparently right out the window. With
I
streaming.
typed in chat, we're back, so we'll see what happens.
Okay, great. And let's pick up. So we were in the apartment making plans. Is there anything else y'all want to do before you start making your way to boot?
We were making plan cakes.
Plan cakes. Aw.
Plan cakes.
This
yay.
is actually a thing that happens. It feels like so funny. My old D&D group, they actually like had a whole thing where like there was like a promise that they would get pancakes if they made it to the city. And like they finally got there and they were like, we have to make a plan. And one of the people was like, I need those pancakes right now. And then like they're like, plan cakes? So you are now my second player in my second campaign to make a plan cakes fun.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so shout out to all my friends from that D&D group, none of whom are watching, some of whom no longer live in the United States. Lucky them. So let's get going. What are you doing with your Thursday morning? I know Amandu was in need of a checkup from Hennis and Ulrich. Anybody else going anywhere, doing anything?
I'm going to spend my time writing and then just copying as many. I take it there's some kind of a printing press that I've been using to kind of distribute my stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna focus on that and getting my Faisal's finest article out.
Okay. So you're gonna actually write and distribute the article.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
In the meantime, I think I would like to go find Briza and ask her about, if she has any advice for when I go back up to the library, and also if she would be willing to have the voice thing done to her.
Okay.
Oh, but I don't. This is the problem, is that I don't know, because then she would be able to hear everyone else.
Everybody who is part of the spell when you cast it.
What, can I cast it multiple times?
What does the thing say?
The thing says, the secret cant of the ministers extends communication. You lead a group in a ritual that binds your voices to their goddess, adorning each of their throats with a thumbprint of charcoal. For the next day, each member of the group can hear everything the other members say, as though they were whispering in their ear, no matter how far apart they are.
It says can, doesn't it? It says each player can hear this.
But it does say
So
can
maybe
hear everything. So I feel like the intent is that everything that everyone says is heard by everybody in their minds.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it makes the most sense for this because it's for the day, is that you can cast it once, or if you recast it, it essentially ends the first spell and creates a second spell, a new second spell. So I don't think you can cast it twice and have like two different groups who can hear things that you just happen to be the center of both.
In that case, what I would like to do is go around and find people that I can trust, like the super awesome gay drug dealing couple that I love, and maybe Briza, maybe Mama Luke, and kind of conscript them into just defending it until we're gone, right? Telling them to be ready in case somebody shows up, and that we'll be back soon, and that just for a bit, like the apartment won't be under our watchful eye in case there's any criminals or anything, right?
Yeah. I mean, you can go with Ulrich and Hennis up to Amandu and Mama Luke's apartment. And Barnabas would be just chilling until it's time to go, or do you we can't hear you.
That was weird. I unmuted and then it muted me. I don't know. Anyway.
Double clicked.
So I feel like Barnabas has probably been injured quite a lot in his time down here in what he does,
Mhm.
and that maybe he already possibly has some kind of relationship with Marguerite in like her helping to heal. And I don't know if it's something that can be done in a morning or anything, but I
Yeah.
would like go and check in with her and basically offer to donate some blood in return for trying to help me start to heal up my shoulder.
Yeah. Okay. Let's and then Kelvy is writing. So let's go up
Yes.
to we'll start upstairs and then we'll come back to Marguerite and Barnabas. Okay. So y'all head upstairs. You knock and as usual, the door is open to Rick especially, who is a known and trusted friend to the family.
I had this marked. I actually have one stress to my relationship with Mama Luke's.
Mhm.
I don't know if you have that written down, but
No, I don't, but thank you for reminding me.
okay. Mama.
Oh, Rick, and she pulls you into a big hug. What happened with the ghouls? Tell me. I mean, I know what happened with the ghouls, but is Marguerite okay? Is everything fine down there?
Yeah, Marguerite's. I mean, she is one resilient person. But she's doing all right. And I managed to get all those cracks in the floor fixed. Well, for the time being. We have a little bit more preparations to do, but for now, everything is iced over. But how are your ghouls doing? Like,
Well, I tell you, Rick, it's very strange everything that happened. It's been years since my husband died, and ever since then, it's just been the same thing. The ghouls and I have a deal, and they leave the kids alone, and it's like a business relation. And then out of nowhere, they're coming and they're telling me about all these ghouls, and it's very unusual that it just happened like it's been years since anything like that's happened.
right, I definitely know what it's like to have some very specific ghouls after the death of Morphin, but that's neither here nor
Gives
there.
you a nice hat and
Yeah, thank you, Mama. I well that's real interesting. Where I know that Hennis over here, who unfortunately is this morning
That's
is
so
not
great.
able to speak for himself. But he had an interesting encounter. A person just was attacked by a ghoul just out in the open, which I mean, I guess it happens, but like definitely seems like it's a bit of a higher frequency now. You wouldn't have to know anything about that, would you?
Well, the ghouls around here they leave the vulnerable people alone because me. But it's ghoulish nature to attack the vulnerable out in the streets and I don't know. I don't know if it's related or not, Rick. I mean, it's possible. It's possible, but it's always been the nature of ghouls to try and feast upon our flesh.
Right. Yeah. Well, anyway, I don't mean to dwell on the ghoulish things right now. But I did need to check in with Amandu. I might need him today for a little bit. We have a trip planned up Spire, and I'm going to do my darndest to keep him controlled once we head to the bar afterwards this time. I promise. You have my trust there.
Well, that boy, she kind of looks over to where he's in his room, the door is closed, and he kind of sighs. And that boy, he's real stressed, Rick. He's just always tense, always ready for a fight. I don't know. He's still my boy, but he's different than when he went up Spire all those years ago. And I know Durance has changed people, but
Right.
it breaks my heart to see him like that. So
Well, I think tenacity and the things that he's feeling right now. like they're not bad things to feel necessarily. And I think what he might just need is, the right avenue with which to pursue these things instead of just kind of lashing out. And I just think he needs a right outlet, really. And then I think he'll be able to make use of the perhaps more negative things he's feeling and having to go through.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right, because that boy needs to. I just wish he could relax a little, I know it's not exactly a great day for that, given that we've got, 3 days left until we have to leave, but I just want what's
on that
best for him.
note, I'm up there too, right?
Yeah.
On that note, I think that perhaps it would be best if I were to speak with you some, Mama Luke, while Ulrich and Hennis have a nice word with Amandu.
Well, sure, anything for a midwife.
Wonderful. Let us go to the roof. If I understand, that is where you like to go.
Oh yes, and she lets you kind of support her up the stairs, and you because is missing part of her leg, so you help her up the stairs to the roof.
All right, I knock very gently on Amandu's door.
Lord Farquaad, open up.
Amandu, are you in there?
Oh yeah, hang on. Yep. And you hear some shuffling, and he opens the door and joins you out in the main room. Hey Rick, good to see you. Hennis, hello.
How's what's his boyfriend's name?
We have never established a name for him.
It's Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Okay.
There's a very good joke in Dimension 20 with the name of there's a ranger character who has a pet named Jeremy, but it's spelled like the most ridiculous fantasy spelling of Jeremy you could imagine, with J apostrophe AERI apostrophe M apostrophe IH apostrophe, so Jeremy. It just reminded me of that. Also, Jeremy in that series ululates. That's the noise that the beast makes. So it's just whenever they talk to Jeremy, he's like, oh! It's just it's very good. Okay, anyway, that's my plug for Dimension 20. If you haven't watched it, you should. So yeah, Jeremy over in Red Row will be
Jeremy in Red Row. All right. Hey, I can tell from your face right now that you seem to still be kind of stressed. I mean, is everything all right with you and Jeremy? I know that in 3 days' time, hopefully no change will be happening. But just want to, are you guys all right?
Oh, I mean, yeah, I haven't really gotten to spend much time with him. I mean, it's not bad. It's just been busy with everything here and been busy with everything there, and we thought maybe I'd move over there soon. I mean, especially with everything going on here and the possibility of having to leave anyway, but I don't want to have to foist my mother on him. So
right, I could see how that
he
might
is a delight.
Barnabas's voice from 3 floors lower, just filtering up.
Question: what would the drow do for a vacation?
In Derelictus?
The drow anywhere. I mean, I feel I'm not independently wealthy, but I feel like I have a few silver that I could lose if it would mean that I could do more than just several drinks at the bar last time.
Yeah, so there is the Silver Quarter, which is a tourist. It's a higher class. This would be a pricey place to go, but it's kind of like casinos, and it would be kind of a Las Vegas type kind of place to go that people of both low and high society would gather at, though in very different places in different ways.
Okay.
And that's one option. It is up Spire, so it takes some time to get there. There's also like the docks and stuff. You could leave Spire. I mean, there is a world beyond Spire, although a lot of people don't. So you could go to the docks, catch a ship out to somewhere in the country. Those would be kind of the two most obvious.
Right. Okay. Listen, Amandu. What I remember that last time, you know, things got a little intense when we had to go up Spire. But this time, well, I'm gonna cut right to the chase. I think I really need you to come up with me one more time. But I'm going to do everything I can to make it worth your while this time. Does I don't know, a trip to the docks sound good? Like something to give you and Jeremy a little bit of a getaway once all this is said and done, because let's be honest, you guys absolutely need this, and you probably need a little bit of time away from Mama Luke's, I understand.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt. I mean, I love my mother and I want to be here for her, but maybe a trip out from the docks would be okay. That's really nice of you, Rick. I don't know. Let me think about that. But when are you going back up Spire?
Oh, it will be today.
Oh.
As you can understand, we're on a bit of a time crunch. And it would absolutely be no later than this afternoon. And
Hennis did make Andrew made it clear Hennis would check in with how Amandu feels about that, like whether he wants to go, if there's my dog. If he's comfortable going up Spire, so we'll have Hennis kind of interject with that, to which Amandu replies, I mean, I think I can do it. I don't love going to Amaranth. It's not my favorite place. But can we just agree, maybe don't leave me alone? I would.
That was never going to enter the equation this time. Okay. I learned my lesson. We'll say.
I learned a pretty important lesson too, and
don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah.
Do them with me.
Just don't do version 2 of the drugs. That's the lesson.
2.0.
Version 1.0 is fine, you know.
Don't trust anyone with the name Sam in their name.
Wiggle bars.
Don't wiggle bottles anymore.
Yeah, don't go to any bars that wiggle.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the true lesson.
I think I can do it if you really need me. I wanna help.
All right. I do have. That's great. I do have a secondary kind of question. I almost said last week, but it was like 3 days ago. You had it. You were sorting your Lord Faisal masks into boxes, and then you very graciously lent us some. Do you have any more? Like perhaps one or two more?
We
would only need them for this trip.
I don't really mind letting you have a couple, but you have to understand there's an expiration date on these things' usefulness, and it's when they find out I have them. Because when masks go missing up Spire, people get in trouble, and then masks change. So you can have them, you can use them, and I think it's fine because we were there 2 days ago and it was fine. But I just want you to remember, this is why I kind of hid him away once Faisal's onto the game with these masks. Instead of getting us into the right places, they're going to mark us as people who don't belong once they know that these are gone.
And do you think that I mean, we managed to get off pretty scot-free somehow last time.
Well, they probably don't know that these masks are missing yet. I mean,
right.
But I guess all I mean is that the more that we use them, the more likelihood someone is going to figure it out.
Right. That's totally understandable. Thank you for the concern there. What do you feel the I guess the shelf life usefulness of these is going to be? Like, do you think we reasonably have one more trip out of them?
I think so. I mean, listen, when I worked for Faisal, 4 years, we probably saw masks get changed over for all of the staff and servants 6, 7 times. It doesn't happen that often. But when it happened because they figured out someone had counterfeited them or had stolen some. So every time we use a stolen mask, we risk forcing Faisal's hand to turn over the masks again. I think we were there 2 days ago. It was fine. Nobody seemed to be on to us. I mean, the other servants, probably, I don't know if they would say anything. Who knows how anyone found out the 7 times that it did happen, you know? It's hard to trust people up Spire.
All right. Well, I mean, honestly, I feel like we would exhaust their utility after managing to, meet up with him and have an actual conversation. After that, the hope would either be that we would be able to sort of freely have conversations with him, and or we would never have to have another one after that. So that's kind of the our MO at this point. But in that case, you would be willing to go up with us and kind of point us in the right direction. I'm not saying you would have to say anything to Lord Faisal, even make it known that it was you that's there. Just, to kind of guide us and make sure that, we're not poking our noses in any places that we shouldn't be, more than the ones where we are.
I can do that. Yeah. Why don't you go ahead? This is going to put some stress on the bond. So roll a d10. He's already agreed to go. He's going to go no matter what. This will determine how much stress goes on. The higher you roll, the less stress goes on the bond.
No. No.
So,
now, if at all possible.
Well, so excuse me, bonds aren't the same as normal Fallout. So the way that this is going to work is he's agreed to do what you've asked him to do, but the more stress that the bond takes, the less likely the bond is to last, right? So eventually Fallout will get rolled on this, but we're going to essentially put stress on the bond now and roll Fallout on the bond after the resolution of Amandu going up Spire. So the more stress the bond takes during the trip, etc., the more likely there is to be Fallout, and the more likely the Fallout is to be bad. So this is a great
the worst
start.
possible roll.
Yeah, so I'm going to roll a d8, and that's how much stress the bond is going to take now.
It's going to be 1 million.
4. Okay, so and how much did you already have any stress on that bond?
No, not with him. I healed all the stress I had with him.
Okay, so the bond has 4 stress now, and we won't roll Fallout yet. We'll keep that in mind for after the trip up Spire. Okay, anything else before we cut up to Minrai with Mama Luke's?
No, but so we had 3 masks. I don't know how many people total we're planning on bringing up with us to Lord Faisal, but can we just, can we figure that out now? Like, is everyone going up to Lord Faisal?
I think Barnabas is not.
Barnabas is not. So that's 4 plus Amandu plus, so it'd be 6 total masks.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, he
or
has...
maybe 5 masks.
Yeah, he plus his, right? So he would have his own, but then to give you. Oh yeah,
Well,
five, that would be five total,
it would be the three of us plus Hennis plus Amandu, so
Right.
5.
Okay. Yeah, he digs out a couple more masks for you and hands them over, and he's like, "These are just kind of general household masks. It would be what people would wear kind of casually around, if not on duty or if on just kind of like basic tasks like fetching food or things like that." So, and he hands those over. It's what I have.
Super quick world question.
Yep.
So I know that like Amandu has like obviously there's a whole bunch of tiers of possible masks. It would a person that's like his second in command or whatever, they would have a mask, but say that they were doing like a very menial task, would they put on the mask to kind of fit whatever task they're doing, or do they always have the high ranking mask on?
A good question. So there's different answers depending on if we're talking about the Aelfer or the Drow.
The drow, yeah.
Okay, so a drow person, it could be either way. A high-ranking drow, like if someone was kind of a second in command to someone like Lord Faisal, or like the head of their household staff or something, and happened to also be drow, they might always wear their kind of like status mask as a way to, because if you have power, why masquerade without it? But on the other hand, it's very possible that they could just put on another mask and walk around in it. And for the most part, people would be none the wiser. And this is something that is kind of a known and like factor in. But the Aelfer just don't care. They think Drow are just so beneath them that they just don't care about distinguishing one servant from another necessarily. So to them, it's not very important, and to and it can certainly mean that people can pose as other people pretty easily if they want to, or like undercover boss style, be amongst the servants when you are in fact like the head of the household or something like that.
So the masks then tend to be more of like a signal to other drow more so than
Yes,
to the Aelfer.
for business purposes, yes, like to make sure that and to show other, because a drow up Spire without a mask at all is like you would get thrown in jail. It would not be accepted. A drow up Spire with a mask that doesn't assign them to a household is cause for suspicion, though not necessarily immediate like arrest and right. So it's much easier to walk the streets of Amaranth as a drow in a mask with a household affiliation than an anonymous mask.
So last question here then. Would, given all of that, it sounds like it would not be too sus to have, the group of the 5 of us in a different array of masks as long as they are Lord Faisalian in nature.
Yeah, for the most part, true. I mean, it would be kind of strange for someone to be in like a very specific task-oriented mask, like just casually hanging out at a going to a bar or something. People would be like, well, why didn't you just put on like one of your generic ones, right? But not suspicious in that like people passing you on the street probably wouldn't stop to care, enough unless you were doing something that kind of really called attention to like what is going on,
Okay, yeah. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Minrai, you are on the roof with Mama Luke's.
I am on the roof with Mama Luke's. Okay, so cool, yes. Okay. I think I know where I'm gonna go with this. It is quite a lovely day, is it not?
Well, yes, it's about the same as it usually is.
Yes, it is.
Which is to say, Derelictus.
Yes, it is quite an unusual place, but I think I have come to call it home at this point.
Where did you come from, Minrai?
I came from, well, not up Spire, but the Middle area.
I've never been. Well, I mean, for my durance, but I was a girl then. It's been many years since I've left Derelictus.
And
I
I'm a
do not
woman
think
now.
that you would like it.
Sorry.
There is no reason to leave if you do not need to. Everything is here. Family, home, children.
The most
You
important-
clutch.
The clutch.
The clutch. You are a mother. You understand.
It is a nice place to be in that regard.
Yes, it is. I would like to talk to you because I will be leaving this place. Not for long, but we do what we can to protect the children, the clutch, this building, from any crime or perhaps people who may wish it harm. I know that you have done something similar with the ghouls. You talk to them, you have deals with them, they do not eat our children. I am grateful to you for that. The drow are grateful as a whole.
You speak on behalf of the drow as a whole, huh?
Well, I think that I speak on behalf of children who are not dead because of you.
Mm.
And they become the drow as a whole when they grow up.
That they do.
So I would like a small favor. I will be gone, and so will my friends. And I worry that perhaps building will not be safe while I am gone.
What kind of danger do you think the building's in?
Well, there is all sorts of things. We are currently trying to make resolve of this building demolition issue. It does seem to be going well. We have meeting. It is very good. But perhaps they come while we are gone, or perhaps something else happens. You never know. In Derelictus, in the Spire, anything could happen. More ghouls, perhaps. Marguerite is strong, but she is not strong on her own enough to fight all of them. So I would like to make a deal with ghouls if possible, or for you to help organize the community a little bit just to protect the building for the day. I will talk to kids, I will talk to Marguerite, I will talk to some people, but you are in community as well, and you are mother. You understand our duty to protect. And I will be gone for a day, and you will be the person that we turn to.
Well, I appreciate the faith you're showing in me. And, you know, Minrai, this is not the first threat to the community I've ever seen. I think I hear what you're saying, and I am with you. And I think this building has been here a long time, and I've lived in it a long time. And I always do what I can to protect it. It's good to know you'll be gone so that I know what to do. But you can trust the people here. They care for each other. We watch each other's backs.
This is good. I take that to mean that you will take me up on my offer, and I am glad to know that you will protect this building while we are gone.
Why don't you make a compel roll? And
Shit, I don't have compel.
Well, I was gonna say, so having Mama Luke's kind of on your side in this,
Yeah.
you can take like a D10 help from her. And this is just to see how like well you kind of rally the people that you're kind of interested in rallying to.
Can I take low society with it?
Yeah, low society as well.
Is there a way that I could help with this? Perhaps I don't know.
Following your conversation with Amandu, if you want to like assist Minrai go around and like talk to people and get them to.
Yeah, I mean that would just be another low society, but you already have that covered. So
I don't have compel. If you have compel,
I do not have compel either. I have investigate, which isn't going to really help here, and religion, and this isn't me spreading the good word of Limier.
Yeah. All right. So roll 3d10.
Yeah, I rolled.
Okay.
Apparently.
So the 8. 8 is a success. So you and Rick spend some time. Mama helps how she can. And yeah, you kind of get people kind of on board with like knowing to be on the lookout, to help each other out, to kind of hold the line if something happens that
and more specifically, I'd like to draft the children into like kind of being the eyes here, like Little Bird style, like Game of Thrones-ish. Like
Yeah.
if you see someone coming, come tell Mama Luke. And
Which,
she'll
by the way, y'all totally didn't clock it, but that's exactly what happened in the gardens with Marilee. She had someone set up outside to watch for
oh shit.
people coming.
We got played.
Got it.
But anyway.
I wasn't there. It's not my fault.
Played me like a fiddle and cut my strings.
Anyway, okay, yes. Yeah, so you spent some time, you and Rick together kind of coaching these kids on like who to go to and like how to kind of report things, what to look for. Let's go to Barnabas. You are headed down to the basement to talk to Marguerite. Yeah.
I'm also headed down there, but I would
I'm walking. I'm stepping slowly down the stairs because I'm an old man.
I imagine like the like walking
Remember,
down like
also
rolls.
you have
I'm
to
also
go,
a badass hunter.
you have
Yeah,
to
but
go
you-
outside and around and then down through the basement and through the hole in the wall to get to Marguerite's apartment.
Sweet
now.
Pea is also with me, of course.
Down to the basement and through the hole.
Here's a
Marguerite's
question.
basement we go.
While Barnabas is going down to the basement and he has to go through that room, is that family still there or are they just like gone?
They
'Cause
know
they're just,
me.
like, an apartment.
Everybody loves Barnabas.
Yeah, but remember
it's
the
fine.
ghouls
They were
busted
gone.
down. Yeah, busted down the door and there was no sign of them yesterday.
Yeah.
After the ghoul fight. Yeah.
Do we think the ghouls ate them?
No, we don't know. There were no bodies. They were just gone.
So you get there and like the door has been like kind of patched up, boarded over. Like it's still functioning as a door.
I love it.
But it had been kind of like busted down by like ghoul claws. And you knock and there is no answer.
Do it. Open it. Go hard. Go real hard. Crash it down.
I just want to assume that you like somehow put the thumbprint thing on me and I didn't notice and I just hear that in my head.
Yeet Sweet Pea through the door. Kick it open, throw her in.
Yeet Pea?
Go.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
Yeet Pea. Yes.
Oh God.
And yet,
I'll go. I'll go. Yeah, no, I'll open the door.
Okay. Yeah, you open the door, you go through. It looks like things have been packed in a hurry. And some things left behind, some things missing conspicuously.
Do I know the people that lived here? Like, I mean, I know everybody, but
yeah,
like-
I mean, I guess I don't know.
it's fine
Like,
if you can say that I didn't know them well.
yeah,
Like,
I don't think that anybody here really definitely knew these people well. You know who they were. Like it was we decided her name was Mildred. I don't remember which one of you thought that one up, but Mildred and her kind of group of children that she's kind of taken in. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Barnabas is not going to stop and care if it's empty. I'm
Okay.
sorry. And I'll just walk through
Okay.
to Marguerite's.
Yep.
With-
You
with
walk
Sweet-
through. Yeah. And yeah, you get to Marguerite is not in this immediate area. She's somewhere in the back. But you kind of coming in, she's very alert to what's
And I would
going
stop
on.
at the door, like at the threshold,
Okay,
and or
yeah.
like, because I know how she is about shit.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So she shows up a few minutes later, a minute later, coming through the store here and kind of makes her way in and sees you there. And Barnabas, come in.
Hey, Marguerite, and how's the clutch?
Well, tragically, we did lose some yesterday, but today the moisture levels have stabilized. We are.
We just hadn't said moisture levels in a while.
I
you
had to
know,
get it
so-
in there.
it has to be at least twice per session.
We are surviving. We are stable.
Do you need a donation?
Always, Barnabas. Always.
So, can we maybe work something out for, and I kind of show her my shoulder.
Mhm.
And like, I got this defending the clutch against those ghouls yesterday, and I With everything going on, I don't know that I can wait for this one to heal on its own.
I see. Yeah,
And I was kind of hoping maybe you could help out with your magic.
Sit down, Barnabas. And she
I'll
kind
sit
of comes
down.
over and she's looking at the wound. I'm going to roll. Yeah, so she kind of you notice that this isn't the first time you've seen Marguerite do magical things. And I think you were the one who was with Minrai when she first showed you the cracks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when she did that kind of like show of occult magical ability, it seemed quite effortless. And you notice that this kind of strains her to do, although it is well within her wheelhouse. Like healing is something she does, but this is this kind of seems to put strain on her, and she kind of like it almost like knocks the breath out of her in a way. But she does heal your wound. So
That's one fallout lost.
you can cross off that fallout.
Oh yeah.
You are a healthy being.
I am, except Amandu is still suspicious of me. I still got that fallout.
Yeah.
I think that'll stay forever. Because I'm a creepy old man.
And she kind of sits down next to you after having healed this wound, kind of channeling occult power into the spell. And oh, Barnabas, I don't. I'm getting old, friend.
You and me both. Not quite there yet, but I'm getting there.
And you see some spiders kind of crawl up Marguerite, and she pauses and says,
Ew. I still can't.
It looks
You're
like
a spider person.
I know, but it's still gross. Like, not on me. If I'm a spider, it's fine. If there are spiders crawling up me, everything is bad.
I mean, it's probably happening right now, Ava.
No.
she says,
Sorry.
I could like.
It looks like our first residents are leaving building today, moving out. Find family and fortune elsewhere, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, and Derelictus.
Right?
Derelictus. Yes, with the expectation that the building will be gone in 3 days, I suppose. Yeah.
It won't.
Oh, well, the clutch can't be moved, so I hope you are right, Barnabas.
Yeah, everything we do here is for the clutch.
It is for me, friend. It is for me. And she hooks you up to get some blood donated.
I feel like we would just then have like, I don't know, boring old people banter back and forth.
Boring old people banter ensues.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Anything else from anyone here right now? With
Yes, I also wanted to go talk to Marguerite to just kind of catch her up to what was going on.
Okay, yeah. You would probably arrive around the time that Barnabas was finishing his donation.
Okay. Barney. I call you Barney. Is that an in-character name?
Only Minrai can do that.
Yes. Barney. It is good.
Oh,
to see you,
Minnie,
Barney.
it's so good to see you.
Ah, yes. Well, I just came by to let Marguerite know that we will be leaving and that I have talked to people to help defend the building while we are gone, should anything happen. Marguerite, I do not want you to have to fight so many things alone again. It should not be that way. This time, the building will step up. We are midwives, but that does not mean that we fight alone. We fight with those that we help raise.
This is very good, Minrai. It is good to see you embracing the fullness of being a midwife.
Yes, and perhaps one day you can teach me that thing that you did with the arm. That was really cool. I have many people I would like to impale.
She does have like 3/4 length now arms regrown from.
Those seem to be growing great.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
Ah, yes, that is good. Okay, so I think we go now, Barney. Yes,
Yeah, Minnie, let's get out of here.
let us go.
And
And
I
the
like we
sweet
link.
pea. Oh, sweet
Wait.
pea. And I squish your little cheeks.
She licks all over your face. And she,
I
Oh.
love baby.
yeah.
Okay,
So
the 5 of you, including Hennis and Amandu, gather now to go up Spire. Is that right?
Yes.
You betcha.
Yeah,
right.
so I just want to clarify for Barnabas's sake that I'm going specifically to try and track down Neza. I'm going alone. Everybody else is going to try and interact or talk with Lord Farquaad.
I'm going to the library.
You're going to the library with Hennis.
Yes.
And then Kelvy and Ulrich and Amandu are going to try and talk with Farquaad.
Well, we're.
Sorry, I wasn't exactly sure.
I believe the plan was that we were going to interact, like set up an appointment with Farquaad.
And then I was going to join you.
Yeah, and then Minrai and Hennis would join us once they finished at the library.
Because I have the ability to see into people's souls.
So then my question is, as Rachel, not knowing that much about the Spire, I wouldn't feel comfortable going with them to the meeting and doing those things. I know that enough about myself that I would like to avoid Lord anything and stuff as much as possible. Would it be feasible for after I found... So Neza, I'm just trying to... I mean, I have a note and stuff from Kelvy, but I'm just trying to convince them to show up to the meeting tomorrow, the Harmonious Properties meeting, and then I can leave. I don't need to like stay there and hang out. Would it be feasible for me to travel all the way up to New Heaven, or is that like a thing that would be a lot? And
it's feasible, yeah. New Heaven is an accessible enough part of Spire. I mean, it's the very top. Like you have.
That's what I was saying. Yeah,
get there. But like, I mean, it's not that much different from traveling to Amaranth, right? It's basically one kind of tier higher than Amaranth. So, very overall doable for you to do.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry.
No, that's fine. All right. So you gather in the entryway to your building, and as you step out, around 10:30 in the morning or so, you see coming up the road with a group of maybe 6 hired hands is your good friend. Of course, her name is escaping me in this exact moment. Marilee Erston, with hired guards, all wearing what you recognize as kind of a Harmonious Properties little logo on uniforms, and that is where we're gonna stop for the night.
Wait, wait. Like 5 seconds.
5 seconds.
While we're walking wherever we're walking, can I talk with? Okay, no, like 10 seconds. While we're walking wherever we're walking, can I talk with Barnabas? Do you mention that you want to go up to New Haven or Heaven or whatever?
New Heaven, yeah, I do.
I think that Minrai would be cool going to help you if it's like something that we could fly back down quickly afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, if we can figure out timing wise how to meet up where I don't need to go anywhere near elf lords. I just hate them.
I totally understand. If they were all dead, I would not have problems.
Yeah, I mean,
this is why I raised the army of eggs.
I'd say that we could agree upon a meeting point, and I would wait for you with Sweet Pea.
Okay.
After I found Neza.
Okay, cool. And then I also would like to do the ash thing while we're all at the apartment.
Okay, so before
just
you
one to Barnabas. Yeah, one to Barnabas, one to I'll do Ulrich because I think it kind of unnerved Kelvy last time, and I want you to kind of have the room to
protect Kelvy's sanity.
Yeah, I know that having my voice in your head can be a bit much, especially with the other one. So I'll do Ulrich, if you're okay with it.
Right. Yeah.
Barnabas. I think that's it. Ulrich and Barnabas.
Hey,
Hennis is coming with me though.
Oh.
Okay.
Did Kelvy? I can't speak for Hennis, but I assume that Amandu, at the very least, but probably also all of us, that have the masks that we're all leaving probably were wearing them on our way out. Does that track for you guys? I mean, I don't want to like metagame this, but I feel like that's what I was doing.
Well, if I'm headed to the library, I wouldn't. Oh, I guess I still need a mask, don't I?
I mean, you do have the entire like travel up to go.
I was gonna say, yeah, we're still in Derelictus.
Yeah,
You gotta
wearing
be
the
with a
mask
whole
in
bunch of
Derelictus
trash can and shit.
would be
Okay,
like,
so we probably would not put on our masks until like the Faisal masks until we're in Amaranth.
I think it's more likely that honestly, like it would be more suspicious for you to be wearing those masks in Derelictus than not, and vice versa
Okay.
up Spire, right?
Okay,
So,
right.
okay.
Perfect.
All right. Yeah, so you have the spell cast. Do you have to do anything? You take mind stress.
Take 3 mind stress.
Okay.
Which puts me at 5 total stress. All of it mind.
All right, let's roll.
Yes, let me vomit. My stress, my mind stress out.
You have to take Fallout in order to be able to vomit it? Okay. Well, that is a 3, so that is Fallout.
Yes!
So you
Okay.
Remind me what the
So you have been taught the secret art of decanting your madness into a black liquid that you spit out into vials. Once per session, remove an ongoing minor or moderate mind fallout.
Okay.
Or downgrade one severe result to moderate. So I guess I have to get the fallout first, and then it's just removed.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll say, I mean, like the fallout from this, like essentially is you getting unnerved from like the whispers. Like as you're kind of casting the spell, you're opening yourself up to hearing like so much that your mind is just kind of, and so instead you vomit up stress. And that means you can remove 3 because it was a minor fallout.
Okay, so I'm back to 2. It cost me nothing. Yes, I love it. It's all coming together.
Okay.
My synergy.
Is there anything else like last to do for the session? Do we have to roll any fallouts or?
None for me.
Great. Then a very planning heavy session, but next session we're going up Spire for the second of probably 8 Thursdays. Yes, thanks for joining us. A quick reminder, you can tune into Helpful Goat content tomorrow for just gaming together. Tuesday for Goat's Eye View with me and Rachel and several others doing GM tips. Wednesday for Dom and Dragons. Thursday again for this. And
then Friday again for us again. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Well, we'll plug next Friday, next Thursday.
Perfect.
And yeah, thank you again for joining us. And !BLM, !donate, and we will see you next week.
Have a nice day, everyone, or night, I guess.
Good night, guys.
Good night. Thank you for watching.
Where am I? I forget. I think I lost I have a cheat sheet that tells me my commands. Here we go.
Oh.
I've got it. I should have just trusted myself. Anyway, bye everybody for real.
Bye.